Why can't you just hear the words I'm saying? Why is it that after 2 decades of me working my ass off for everything, I can't even get a wife I can't even get a wife who I do everything for to even hear the words out of my mouth? I want you to know this. I want you to know to the bottom of my heart that, hey, while I'm going and telling people about what they should do in their marriage, my man is begging me for help. My man is begging me to listen to, and I won't listen to the man who's dedicated his life to me. I want you to know that because that's exactly how I feel. I feel like I am 100% alone. I do not have a teammate. And even when I try to communicate to the best of my knowledge, I simply cannot because I have a wife who says she loves me, but she refuses to listen to me.
Shout out to the content creator, man. This is a crazy message, but I'm about to go in. Man. Listen, man. I can tell right now what's wrong with this message. I can tell you right now why he having the trouble he having, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I almost fell into the same situation. Almost fell into the same situation in my marriage, right? Let me explain what I mean. But first, before I go into my personal, let me explain what he messed up at. Number one, I can appreciate and I can admire a man always doing what he need to do for his family. That's first and foremost, right? A man who's always showing up for his family, always supporting his family, and always making sure he do right by his family. That's first and foremost. I always respect that type of man. I admire that type of man. But where he messed up, I heard two main things, right? The first thing I heard was, we've been together for 2 decades and I've done all this for you. That's the first thing. He said, we've been together for 2 decades and I've done everything for you, right? The second thing he said, because it was kind of similar, was everything I've done has been for you. So the 2 decades, yeah, that's my bad. Let me straighten it out. He said, I've been together for 2 decades. I worked my butt off to do everything for you. And then he circled back and he was saying, basically, hey, I've done everything for you. And still, as my wife, you won't listen to me. Like, you say you love me, but you won't listen to me. So those two messages right there, I honed in on and I knew exactly what he messed up at. First and foremost, right? A lot of men fall into this trap. A lot of men fall into this trap where they feel like, and again, we all men been sold this same bill of goods, meaning like our life don't matter, right? Everything we do, we supposed to sacrifice and do it for the woman that we love. We're supposed to do everything for our kids and our family, everything, right? We come last. It don't matter what's going on. If we injured, we sick. It don't matter if our health suffer, our spirit suffer. It don't matter if, whatever going on, we got to do it for her. We got to do it for the family. And we're going to suffer and we're going to go through it and we're going to have to bear it to do everything for them. And I learned that was absolute BS. Absolutely. And now I'm going to, before I even go into deeper with that, let me open up my life a little bit. There was a point where that was my mind state, right? And I was like, man, I was working hard and it affected me where I got out of shape big time. One thing that triggered me losing my job back when I was early triggered it, right? But when I got into a relationship, I'm like, man, I got to play my role. I got to be a husband. I got to do everything. It don't matter if I'm tired. It don't matter if I'm injured. My health gonna suffer. I got to show up and I got to put food on this table. I got to do right by my wife, right? And quickly I found out that it totally shook our marriage, right? And let me explain what I mean. When I started putting her first and putting me second, it didn't work. When I took myself out of the driver's seat and took her out of the passenger seat, put her in the driver's seat, put myself in the passenger seat and allowed her to drive, it didn't work. The marriage didn't work at all. It didn't, right? When I reverted and said, hey, everything that I've been doing just for her and for our future, it didn't work. It did not work. But as soon as I said, you know what, let me get back to me. And again, that's not taking away saying I still don't have responsibilities as a husband to my marriage and to my wife, right? Still have obligations that I signed up for in my vows. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if I cannot lead from behind, a leader has to lead from the front, not from the back. So when I say, okay, let me lock in on taking care of myself more, right? Let me get back in shape. Let me make sure that I'm regularly, that she doesn't have to tell me to go get a doctor's appointment or go to a dentist appointment. You follow me? To take care of myself as a grown man, right? When she didn't have to tell me to start going to the gym and start to eat right, right? And when she didn't have to tell me to start, hey, working smarter, not harder. When she didn't have to tell me to put my life in order, to get locked back in with God. You see me? You see what I'm saying? I took control as the man to put myself back in the driver's seat, back in the leadership position. And guess what? Instantly overnight, my marriage turned around. It turned around. It allowed things to start going in the right direction where I can see a future with us. That's the honest God truth. That was some time. Listen, every marriage has its every marriage has its trials and tribulations. It's never easy. A basic relationship, not easy. So just imagine a marriage where it's like the next level. That's even harder because it's so much more invested. See, when you two single people, right, y'all can just kick rocks and get up out of there. But when you marry, it's so many other things intertwined. There's family, there's maybe a house, some credit, some money tied in together, right? Maybe some kids, right? It's a little bit more. You just can't kick rocks and get up out of there. You can, but it ain't that easy. So I'll say all that to say is you have to, as a man, you have to, I'm gonna say you got to put yourself first, man. You got to put yourself first. You have to. And that doesn't mean your family go without, right? That doesn't mean your wife go without. That doesn't mean your kids go without. But you cannot fall off, man. You can't. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. Women don't respect that. They don't. Because they don't want to lead. Listen, a lot of them, you'll see a lot of boss chicks, whatever they claim, women who act like they want to take the lead. But the truth of the matter, women don't want to work, number one. And that's not saying that they lazy. I'm saying like just in their nature, they don't want to have to work. They don't want to go out in the field, dig up in that dirt. They want to cook the meal. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to go out there and build buildings. And they want you to build it. They come in and relax and look pretty. That's the God's truth, man. They not trying to do hard work. They body ain't even designed for that. We got the muscles. You know what I'm saying? We got the big hands and strong feet, big necks. You know what I'm saying? That's us. We need to go out there and get to work. They supposed to look good, and their strength come from bearing children and enduring, right? When it comes to, just with life and things that thrown their way. But for them to go out there and build stuff, they ain't trying to do that, bro. They just not. So I say that to say, when you a man, you have to put yourself first because that's the only way you're going to keep your family afloat. That's what I found out. That's the secret I found out. So when I'm doing what I need to do as a man, staying locked in on my purpose, make sure I take care of myself first, right? Meaning I'm keeping myself healthy. I'm doing what I need to do as a man. Like, hey, you know what? Maybe I need to work a few more hours for the next 3 months. I can't be home, baby. I can't be up with you watching Netflix. I got to put this work in. I got for my instance, I got to shoot these videos, right? I got to learn this next skill to help us make some money. Cause look, we want to have kids one day. So I can't be laying up under you. I got to get to work. You follow me? That's what a lot of men, what they're doing, they don't have direct. Listen, a lot of men do work hard. Take his situation, for example, right? The guy who giving the message out. He probably worked super hard, right? But his aim was in the wrong direction. Right? He mean well, but you can't see, he pedalized that woman. And that's what the problem is. Women want to look up to their man as man. You know what? Yes, I'm the prettiest in a relationship, but my man is my man. If she can't look at you like you the man, she ain't gonna respect you. if you do everything for her and not for and some things for yourself, she not gonna respect you. And you could tell in this marriage, he like, look, you say you love me, but you don't respect me. You don't listen to anything I say. Why? Because over 2 decades, 20 years, he's conditioned her like, hey, this is who he is. He's just gonna give. And you know what? When I tell him something, he gonna do it. He don't have a backbone. I can't respect that. He leading with money. He not leading with purpose. You follow me? And you see this over and over again. See, it don't matter. And this is why I say people be like, well, you're not them. Let me put y'all on game. Take Jeff Bezos, right? Take Mark Zuckerberg, all these billionaires, right? Some of them had women, some got divorced, whatever, right? They get all the money in the world. They can get anything they want, any chick they want. But guess what? They know what's missing. They all know what's missing. And guess what? They go pursue it. Getting in shape. Because if a man, if you're not in shape, and that don't mean having a six pack, but if you're not in shape where you feel strong, right? You focus mentally, you have a strong focus, right? Because your body's strong, your spirit's strong, right? You in there constantly doing hard things, meaning pushing that weight. You follow me? A man has to go to the gym. He got to. Listen, you can run, you can do all, but something about pushing on weights is different. You follow me? And again, everybody's not gonna be a bodybuilder. That's not what I'm saying. But all them billionaires started working out, right? Because they knew that was what was missing. I knew that was what was missing. And my life totally went back to I did a 180 and got back on the right path as soon as I got in shape. As soon as I did. So many men that tell you the same thing online. Man, I was out of shape. I was lost in the sauce. I had no purpose. I had no aim. I had no drive. As soon as they got in shape, money started getting back right. They started getting the women they wanted to get. Their life started getting in order. They started to get their house in order. They started getting more connected to God. You follow me? So why do I say all this? How does this connect to old boy? And again, I touched on a few things. But the main thing I want to say, guys, and women listening too, if your man's not doing things for himself to put himself in position first, to make sure his family is right, he has to put himself in position first, right? It ain't gonna work. Because if he go out there, he can run up a crazy check, a crazy bag. And he can give you, he can buy you purses, cars, all that. You're not gonna be fulfilled. He's not gonna be fulfilled and you're not gonna be fulfilled. You're not gonna respect that man. He's not gonna respect himself. Because the money is not gonna fix it. You see it all the time. A lot of people got money and they unhappy. Guess what? I guarantee to look out of shape. But look at the ones who in shape and who got money, thriving in life. They feel like they winning $1 million every day. I'm not gonna sit here and say they don't have no problems, they don't have no stress. Everybody, it's just different levels to it. But I guarantee you talk to them, they're gonna tell you the same thing, man. If I ain't have no money, as long as I'm in shape, I'll make it. I'm good. Right? So I say that to say for his particular message is he wasn't purpose driven, man. Meaning his aim was wrong. He said it himself. You heard what he said. He did everything for her. 2 decades. Right? He did everything for this family. But what did you do for yourself, brother? You lost yourself in all of it. You follow me? So, I mean, what he said isn't technically wrong, but he's missing his part in it. He's pushing it on her. When he should be like, you know what? This is what I did, and this is why it didn't work. This is why you're not listening to me. Right? This is why, even though I had all this money I gained, I still don't get my wife to listen to me. He's not leading. Because if he was leading, it wouldn't even be a conversation. I'm a living testimony to this. I won't listen, but I'm going to say this before we get out of here. What I'm saying, fellas, that don't mean your wife and your girl ain't going to never give you no headache. Don't get it twisted. That just will come with it, right? But when you say we moving here, or we moving like this over here, they moving lockstep with you. Will they sometimes give you a little headache along the way? Absolutely. Again, it don't matter. It's everyone. It don't matter. It don't matter. And we gonna get them some headache too. Don't get it twisted. But I say all that to say, hope y'all got a lot of value from this video. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video off for anybody who need to hear this message, because I guarantee somebody need to hear this message. With that being said, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.